course that happened to you.
Well, now you know where Chris gets his talent.
Yeah.
Right? His grandfather.
That's right. But I like to say he gets his drama from his mom.
I was thinking more of his singing and dancing. His drama from his mom.
All right, and up next for the open mic stage, we have Marty. Let's give her a round of applause.
Christina, are we ready here? Christina, are we ready? I don't know if we're ready here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on my time.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. My bad.
And the mics, yes, you can.
Yes.
Okay. Hello, I have a question to pose to you, and that is your history yours alone? We recently lost an amazing activist and primatologist, Jane Goodall. And one of her quotes is, what you do makes a difference. And you choose what that difference is going to be. The work that I've been doing, my life's passion over the last 30 plus years, deals with legacy. And not the legacy that when you search Google, you will find, which is always about money and real estate. I don't know if you've noticed when you type in on your phones, when you put loss in, it shows the stock market loss. It doesn't have the broken heart. Right? The work that I want to do, that I am doing, that I have been doing, is also the idea that we are always living our legacy. We are always creating it in every moment, every choice we make, every day, every breath. We're always living our legacy, and we're always living history. So often, too often, people think, oh, history is for other people or for someone else, those museums and historical societies. We're not connected to them. The time that I've always known this, but the time that I think everyone knew it, the first time, I think we're living in another time right now, but the first time I became face to face with the idea that we are living history daily is when museums and historical societies were reaching out actively, day to day, during COVID. They wanted to have the poems, the paintings, the photographs, the artwork, the music, the letters. They wanted to have all of those things, the signs that people made and shared and showed across the courtyards in New York City and other cities and other places around the world. They wanted them actively, because these are evidence. The things that we create are the evidence of our journey through life. They are our souvenirs. So one of the things I'd like to invite you to do for a moment is to think about something that you are wearing that is in your pocketbook, that's on your body, that you're adorning yourself. I'm looking at you, Mariam. That beautiful dress and your beautiful metal things, like all the jewelry, your rings, everything. I see your cross as well, Felicity, right? And think about the stories that those will tell. So I just want to have you close your eyes for a moment and go on a little journey with me. So you find yourself in a dream, and you're walking down the hall, and you kind of have a sense of where you are, perhaps, like you've been in something like this before. But you don't know until you get to this room and you look at the title, the name on the side of that room, and your name's there. It's your name there. And you walk into the room and you end up realizing this is your exhibition. This is the story of your life. I want you to think about, what's the light like? Can you smell anything? Is there any music playing? And when you're in that room fully, I want you to open your eyes and look around. What things are on the wall? Are they display cases? Is there a bookshelf? What things are on the walls in those displays? Is there actually a film playing? Is there a movie? Is there a video? What things, what would be showing on that screen of your life, of the exhibition of you? I want to change the narrative about legacy being much more, and I know all of us do know this deeply already, but my passion is to encourage more and more people to realize that our legacies are so much more than the money in the bank and the real estate. Are things that we surround ourselves with, we adorn ourselves with, the things we keep, the things that matter, and the things that we will leave behind are part of our legacy. They tell stories about us, and we can learn more about ourselves and one another through the stories that get attached to these things. And keep in mind, these are not just our heirlooms. So although I have a podcast called Things That Matter with Marty McNabb, and last week's episode with one of our fellow members of the 333 Collective, Melissa Davey, and she did end up talking about a heirloom, which was a 100-plus-year-old Persian rug that her family has walked upon and crawled upon and spit up on and you name it. So, and my next episode coming out this Thursday is also about an heirloom. It is a diamond engagement ring that made it from a grandmother's possession during and when she was sent to a concentration camp during the Holocaust. And she somehow stitched it into her clothing and was able to hold on to it. But when she knew that she was not going to make it, not going to survive, she asked a fellow prison leader if he would hold on to it for them. And if her son was still alive, which she didn't know, he was in another camp, to please find him once they got out of the camp, and to find him and give it to him. And he was able to do that and reunite this room. So I also want to say that my first episode and most of my episodes are not about our are not about arrogance. Because my first episode 3 years ago was about a $2 plastic fan that you put in a car that with the air freshener. So that was my first guest who talked about that. And one of the things that I would talk about is this thing called a makeup remover wipe. Because this will always remind me of my mother. So remember that even though my podcast is called Things That Matter, it's not, I do not believe that things matter, but it's the stories that get attached to them that often do. So in closing, I just want to encourage you to make sure that you tell your stories, and you make sure that the people in your life know why you hold on to that broken vase or whatever the things that are around you, because that's the most important thing, to share your stories of the things that matter. Thank you.
Let's take a 5-minute break because I need to go for a bio break. This has been amazing, this first hour, but we'll pick up in just a few, and Chad will be next on the stage.
Yay. I do
Oh, we do have an announcement as well.
I do. I'll announce it before I start.
Okay.
I have a request that your son not be in the room.
Okay.
Just it's.
Oh,
it's
he's taking a break.
Oh,
He said
good.
he won't be back till 4.
good. Oh, good.
Yes.
I had Gail already like man in the door, like if you see him, you just take him out.
We get to hear from her family.
What?
Someone said we get to hear some profanity, and that's what I'm thinking.
Workshop. But it's not in the book. It's not in the book. Yes. Yes, it's social mind center here.
In all of it.
It's all right.
Oh, there's a lot of drama.
It was great.
Good. Red fry.
Oh, that's the best. And when I like something, you get rid of it.
Well, I didn't know.
Maybe
once I have no one ever saying.
I love that response.
You gave me some, yeah.
Did I get it? I'm not taking that, ma'am.
I'm not taking it.
Okay, you're not taking that, ma'am. They borrow it.
Okay, Joe, okay, yeah, I'm not, okay, not bad. Well, she's just. Yeah, okay, that's right.
Google folder for Allen's.
That's good, that's no, you know, and I now remember what she said, that, yeah.
So nobody would imagine that that one is. At least they would. And if there's something else in it, I mean,
Thank you so much. Well, you're very welcome. It's just the only one I have. So I haven't
Somebody when I invited them.
Well, actually, we talked about it. Still.
It's one of the heck now. So I.
Oh, yeah, I can bring
There's a DJ, her husband, a DJ. And I think she and all of her stuff. Now, network. But so she can get selling it with 16 months. I think and I have other reasons they could come this week.
when you speak.
I'm just gonna sit up.
Just.
Hey, come.
Oh,
Yeah.
that more often. I mean, I don't know, maybe you do.
I don't.
That was really workshop next week. Nobody in the room. We like saw this.
Toastmasters.
Well, I think it's
Toastmasters.
Right? So over there.
Yeah, I know when she said, oh, because I thought we this is dancing and everything, so I'm thinking that I'm gonna allow it.
It's really spicy stuff.
I'm thinking movement, and I kept moving my heels and everything.
So.
But
I'm trying to get
I'm ready for this one.
Okay.
That's why I had to
This didn't work. This didn't work.
So Jack,
Yes, ma'am.
I actually.
Yeah, that's why I dress like this. I feel comfortable.
Next time.
Yeah, comfortable. Yeah, 'cause I said, oh, all these years, but I learned a lot about the music of art. I did not understand why, now I understand. Sometimes once you understand why, it's this. Yeah, true. I'm with you. I'm just swinging hand, swinging hand. But it's good to know, oh, this is how you're doing it. This is what, it's good, how it's gonna benefit you. So now my cats can really watch me. You know.
And let me check.
Oh, thank you. My name is Mary. I can get your name. And it's T-Grace.
Yes. So things like it was a
Something.
I sent a link to.
and then put it into the video.
Because things we live with.
Yes, because if you send me a video,
I love it, the YouTube, but I can embed it.
on the page, so
And
they can read it in the many years and I'll say
LA,
like that. Exactly. I will send you the deck now. Right. I will send you that. I actually did write something out.
Yes. Do you have my number?
I know. Let's get the
fabric.
I looked at the color and what is now Samsung. So I can't do the sex. I can't do sex. I just give you my number. He texted me about you.
And she sells fabric?
Get my glasses.
Okay, yeah. Part was, part of.
Just put it in there, honey.
The staff lounge, they go to.
Is that what we're
in
doing?
live fabric, big as that. And I'm.
And
they,
oh my God.
they gave us, they did is they cut out strips and she had to add fabric. So first I had to cut this fabric all together to make one big piece. And then after you do that, then you cut out the coat. And it's a beautiful.
Yeah.
I just wanted to.
Very unique.
Everybody else
Yeah.
wearing the same thing.
They may have, I love your shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Cremation, you earned it.
Oh,
I have a gospel urn on my fireplace. Nobody knows this is.
Right?
Nobody knows.
Yes, MARTIE.
And that's your last name?
McNabb.
And
MCNAB.
if she's gonna send us any names of people.
MCN.
Who we could name.
I think she knows.
Yeah,
Oh, was it again, all the information? Yes, I was fine.
yeah, cause I know that's what happened with Be More.
As soon as I did it, that's it. Big.
Chandra, I just wanted to end up saying, I hated my name when I was growing up too, and now you put in Marty McNabb with an IE. Can't find anybody else.
I know.
I'm the top of the.
Yeah, you know, it didn't pay a dime, didn't pay a dime.
It is, right? Facebook, I can look it
Yeah.
up anywhere.
Okay, MARTIE. IE, got it, I'm gonna find.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
This was a great conference, I'm glad I came.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. you did.
Yes, are you from this area or you gotta fly out?
So I lived part-time in Vermont, part-time with my mom. Part-time in Austin with my wife. And like the top part is 99.
Yeah.
Part-time in Ambergris, that's part-time.
Well, you just everywhere.
Yeah.
You're just,
Opportunities.
okay, have the leaves changed in Vermont?
Yes.
Okay.
Not fully, but they were already starting.
Is that you,
You did, yes. I got that.
We want to get to other parts of the country. Now, I want to get to out.
I just finished, so.
This is September.
The state, I still haven't, and it's September.
Because I keep seeing the pictures.
Yeah.
I want to go to that. Because I like the Mexican.
Yeah.
May I have a sidebar?
And Joe, because my name is Sean.
Just need you. I'm like, it doesn't affect me. You did and you left me. Uh-oh. What's your number? Oh, 718. I'm like, you're not gonna say
Oh, yeah.
thank you. Oh, that's okay. I'm like, I'm not gonna. So then I'm gonna walk away. I'm like, so sorry. Now I will send you my contact from here. I will send you a message with my contact.
So I just was flying. I just came from my good friend in Brooklyn last week, and I just posted this photo.
Talking about your band anymore. Now you're talking about the city.
Yeah, and I posted it as my profile picture, and I didn't realize that look at what you did to me.
Oh, I
Oh,
didn't
wait,
even
you know what?
know. I didn't even notice that. But your corner certificate. I didn't know. That's funny because I didn't notice it either until.
Brett, you Brett.
Right?
We've known each other since the curl and the big curl.
Share. How'd it go?
It went well. I think I got some good feedback.
Surprise. Oh, good. Okay. Oh, good. Now just check, text me, send me the whole like, either KLTL deck and I will send it to you.
Katie has.
And then you can see
Yeah.
what it's all about. Talk about it. But yeah, I've been writing some.
Yeah.
We do talk about some downsizing, but that's really important too. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to lose everything else the other children have to do. That's just me.
But the thing is people,
I was like, I'm gonna do public speaking.
I feel I feel like we talk about what things, what making sure the story is.
Right, yeah.
Rising weather marketing.
Right,
And I
right.
have.
Yes, oh, I know, it's a perfect balance. Singing in the end.
Yeah.
No, I think that's
Some
beautiful.
people are like, I'm not getting rid of it. I'm like, so the whole thing. And I would literally take that whole long.
Yeah, yeah. So I did not go to his mother to get him the day off. He said, I said, you know what I did?
Oh.
I took a picture of him. And when I got the report, so I have these pictures of his argument.
I didn't get it.
I was hungry. Watching his whole age. So I don't have to worry about.
Oh, yeah.
So it's consolidated. In a format that I.
Yeah, of
That
course.
speaks to me.
Yeah, open my.
My life, well, so I'm not still done. Yeah, keep moving forward. Right.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Like, I do work.
Books, honey.
And there's from me, I was like, why did you do
That they're like,
They're like, what? Because, well, no, I don't bring up. It's like, such your thing.
And then I'm like, how did you do that? Why did you get, I was like, I don't know, say never, I wouldn't be doing
Yeah. Oh, I've done that.
I must not have needed my purse after getting that $1 million.
That's what it was. In that room. That's what happened. You like, girl, I got me like, I don't say that. I'm good, but it's all about manifestation. So, yeah, yeah, oh, yeah. Yes, yeah, yeah. Put your $1 million somewhere and manifest your million. There you go.
And we had to make some of our future self, and I decided to be last night, because it's teach my And that's like, so I went to the event, and like, we all so dressed up. She was in Chevy Chase, like, oh my god, let's take a picture. And so and I bought this as a I just bought this as Vera Halloween, and I fabric color it and put it on, and then I you've got your my phone, and then you're not on it. And this boys, and then the boys,
Except the one.
and so the butterfly, and then the butterfly gave it to my teacher, and then I went and found a nail place, like did this, and then I coach connected to, she's like, we have like, we're
coming, Chad, we're coming.
And I was like doubting doing the whole entire thing. Like, yes, you're a butterfly.
Yeah.
I was like,
If you're easy, I quiet stuff.
so let's welcome Jack to the stage. Miss Jack, like a Jack.
Hello? Okay. So first I want to say that my assistant back there picked a random number. And the winner of the book now she's been in this room for 2.5 days, and now she's not, but it's Jana. Jana won the free book. Yay. And so I want to share something that is not in the book. It's not published anywhere. And it is very, very raw and very, very vulnerable. And I feel very safe here.
Is it okay to live stream it?
Oh.
Sure.
Have your kids be in that other room, if there's any.
Right. Well, my kid would be horrified. I will never feel the weight of your touch. The brush of your fingers promises so much. In the solitude of my mind, you come alive, a phantom caress, too real to deny. I will never hear the whispers of your moans, deafening and hot, stirring my deepest bones. Yet in my silence, your voice fills the air, a sultry echo of a dream laid bare. I will never taste the heat of your kiss, the connection missed, denying me bliss. But in my thoughts, you linger, cruel and raw, a specter that calls me to death's hungry claw. I will never see the fire in your eyes, the smoldering gaze that never lies, yet even unseen, it shatters my form. Organs reshaped in a puzzle, deformed. I will never escape this ensnaring loop, caged by desire, a prisoner in its coop, bound to the echo of what will never be, forever a slave to these visions and need.
Thank you for
All right.
that. You see why I didn't person. No, I'm gonna move.
What's the cover band?
This is not in a book, at least not yet.
All right, and up next, what does
What does your partner think of that one?
He doesn't like it.
Malena.
He does not like it. But you know, I've had it before him. He doesn't like it. No, I was gonna ask if you share it. He heard it once and he's like, I never knew about it. Hi, Coletta.
Hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Coletta Machado. I'm so happy to be here. I specialize in energy healing, intuitive advising, and spiritual coaching. My work is about helping people release hidden blocks and limiting beliefs so they can step fully into the life they're meant to live. And today I want to share with you how one simple shift in the way you see yourself can completely change your reality. We all have dreams and goals, but how often do we stop ourselves before we even begin? I don't have the time, I'm not ready yet, I'm not the kind of person who could do that. Those quiet statements, they're limiting beliefs. They sound like facts, but they're really thoughts we've repeated so many times to the point that they feel true. They hold us back from stepping into our full potential. And here's an easy way to spot them. Ask, what do I really want to do? Then ask, why am I not doing it? The answer usually reveals the beliefs that's keeping you stuck. I remember a time when I wanted to step into something bigger, but the excuses came fast. I don't have the right background, I don't know enough, other people are already better at this. As long as I entertained those thoughts, I stayed exactly where I was. Then I realized limiting beliefs aren't truths, they're stories, and stories can be changed. When a limiting thought appears, pause and ask, is this absolutely true? Or is it just a story I've been telling myself? That single question opens the door. It interrupts the pattern and makes room for a new possibility. You don't have to wait until every doubt disappears. You just need to start questioning the beliefs that hold you back. And every time you do, you weaken their grip and strengthen your ability to choose differently. Maybe it's not time or talent holding you back. Maybe it's just a belief you've outgrown. And for a long time, I struggled with visibility. I worked hard, I showed up for everyone else, but deep down, I felt small. I believed I wasn't enough, that my voice didn't matter, that success was for other people. That belief kept me invisible, not just on stage, but in life. When I began to use energetic and intuitive practices and trauma release work, I realized those beliefs weren't the truth, just old stories. Once I began shifting those stories, everything changed. Confidence grew, opportunities appeared, I stepped into the role I was meant to play. I want to share with you a simple process I use with my clients to move beyond limiting beliefs. Step one is awareness. Notice the beliefs running in the background. When you think about your goals, what story comes up? Step two is to release. Recognize those beliefs aren't true, just old programs that once kept you safe. And step three is to choose a new empowering belief, such as I am worthy, I am capable, I deserve to be seen and heard. And practice this consistently, and your energy starts to align with the life you want to create. And when you change your beliefs, everything around you shifts. Relationships improve, confidence grows, opportunities multiply. And it doesn't just start with your life. It ripples into families, communities, and even future generations. That's the power of healing at the level of belief and energy. Now remember, the biggest obstacle between you and the life you desire isn't outside of you. It's the beliefs inside of you. Beliefs aren't permanent. They can be released. They can be transformed. And when they are, your whole life expands. This is the work I do through intuitive healing, intuitive guidance, energy healing, spiritual coaching, and some other modalities I practice. But helping people release what no longer serves them so they can unlock their power. It's really powerful work. Thank you for allowing me to share this with you today. Your inner power has always been there. It's just waiting for you to claim it.
Wow.
I have never met Coletta until today. She saw it on Eventbrite and got a ticket because she saw the speaker workshop. This is the thing, right here. Right here. It's on your feet, ladies, on your feet. And she spoke about visibility. Here we go. Thank you. Thank you so much for your comments.
How do we get your information? Like this really resonated.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna be doing a shared, which everybody's email, unless you say, don't take me off that email, just subscribe. Everybody's on it, you can share whatever your offers and everything, we'll have that Thank you again.
My name is Coletta Mercado, my email is coletta.mercado@gmail.com.
There
I
we go.
got it. Thank you, Coletta. It was such a pleasure. Thank you.
That was it.
All right. Next on the stage, we have Miss Jen. Come on up, Jen. Woo! Let's welcome
How many of you have someone in your life who doesn't listen to you? Could be a spouse or partner, maybe one of your kids, a parent, a friend. You know exactly what they need to do, and they just don't want to hear it. I often have clients who come to me and say, I need help convincing my dad that he needs to stop driving. Or I need to know how to convince my parents that they need to downsize. Or can you help me convince my siblings that my parents need more help than they're getting right now? And I always ask them, why? Why do your parents not want to move? And the answer is usually some version of, because they're stubborn, or because they want to make my life hell, because they love driving me crazy. Okay, well, I'm not going to dispute the fact that they may be stubborn, that may be true. But well, then I ask, okay, well, if you were to ask your parents why they don't want to move, like, what would they say? And usually I'm not crickets. Oh no, never asked them. So the next piece of advice I give them is, I know you've got that bullet point list prepared, ditch the list. Get rid of your PowerPoint that lists the statistics on the number of accidents elderly drivers have. Set that all aside and ask questions and listen. I'm going to tell you just a quick story. My mom is turning 90 in December. Yeah, she's awesome. She's in really good health overall, but her hearing has diminished over the years. Not uncommon for people as they age. Also, not uncommon, not unlike other older individuals, she has been resistant to the idea of getting hearing aids. She saw an audiologist several years ago who said, yeah, you're definitely a candidate, gave her a prescription, and she just didn't follow up. She wasn't ready. Now, I started noticing about a year and a half ago when we were at a family event that she really was missing good chunks of the conversation. She really was isolating herself by not being able to hear what was going on. So I brought it up with her, knowing that there's a lot of different reasons that people don't want to wear hearing aids. Some people may think they're too expensive. Some people may think, my friends have told me there's a lot of static and feedback and they don't really work. Or some people maybe are worried about losing them, or just think like keeping them charged is going to be too much work. Could be any variety of reasons. It turned out, in my mom's case, hearing aids represented one more loss that accompanies aging. She already used a walker, so she had lost mobility, and along with that, some of the independence that she had grown accustomed to. She also had just lost her brother. She had lost a number of friends, some to death and some to cognitive decline. And in carrying all that grief, the idea of inviting in one more thing that represented yet another loss felt like too much for her. Now, as we talked, I pointed out that the isolation that she was creating by not being able to enjoy
the connection, the connectedness in conversations that she was used to was another form of loss. So while she didn't have control over the fact that she was losing something, she could make a choice as to what it was she was losing. So she ended up getting hearing aids and finding that they actually weren't as bad as she expected. She really actually likes them. And so I share that story with people to point out that there's so much opportunity to learn about the people when we love, when we ask questions, when we listen, when we let go of the assumptions that we have. My brother's response was, you know what, mom needs hearing aids. I'm just gonna tell her, we're buying her some. I know they're expensive. I'm getting her some for Christmas. That's it. And if we had followed that course, we really would have been setting ourselves up for a dead end, for failure, because what would have happened, the cost wasn't the issue. That wasn't addressing the reason for her resistance. And if he had done that, the hearing aids quite likely could have gone into a drawer where she never wore them, and where he was annoyed that mom doesn't appreciate anything I do for her. I spent all this money and she's not even wearing the hearing aids I bought her. So in having that conversation, it allowed us to pinpoint what she was feeling and how to address that. And it also made her feel visible. It made her feel seen and heard. You know, we've been talking all weekend about becoming visible and how we can become visible. When we are able to truly listen to the people around us, that offers an opportunity for us to connect with them in a way that makes them feel visible. And once we have that connection, that's when we can become visible to them. So I will close by saying I encourage you all to ask why and listen and be curious and enjoy what comes to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jen. I think there's a theme going on here, this visibility thing.
I'll agree too.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. And we have Emily Goody. There you are. She just became visible to me. Let's welcome her to the stage, Ms. Emily.
Okay. Let's see if I can get this mic out. I don't have it on my Beyonce dress. It feels like I had on yesterday. Y'all missed it yesterday. All right, and I think I'm the last speaker.
Right now.
Okay.
Some volunteers.
So I'm gonna start with, yesterday I talked about going from imposter syndrome to confidence syndrome. I had lost my confidence. And I'm gonna give you guys a little story. And I don't share this one, but something about the energy in this room is allowing me to share this story. Okay. So, global leader, Magic, Telcom. If anybody's my age, I went through the MCI, Telcom, WorldCom, grew up, Nextel, Chirp. So I grew up, career climbed in that industry to global corporate leadership. I'm going to be very candid. Sometimes I told you guys yesterday, I've been to Hong Kong, London, Brussels, you name it. I've been there leading teams. Many times I get to my destination and I'm leading teams and organizations in the Here to Shine Germany. And guess what? I'm the only me in the room. And you know that I mean by the only me. Not only am I a female, I'm a brown female. And so I learned very easily code switching. You may or may not have heard that term, but I learned it very easily. Fast forward 2013. I don't tell this story, but I'm telling it to you guys. 2013, I would get a call in the middle of the night. My son, who was 17 at the time, was at a party. And my son, not an intended target, he was at a party. My son was shot multiple times. Thank God, I am the mother of a gunshot survivor. Riddled with over 6 bullets.
Oh.
He survived. The journey has been incredible because you know what I had to do? I had to code switch. The real me couldn't go be visible. The real mother of a gunshot violence to my son could not walk into that corporate boardroom and say, my son has been shot. What image would that have? What image would that have as I'm leading these male-dominant teams of men that did not have the same color skin of mine? But I had the intellect. I had everything to do the job I did. So fast forward, here I am today. And as a matter of fact, Pam, you probably helped me to. I was going to talk about something else, and then I decided to talk about this because we talked about money. So I'm going from this, upper 6 figures, and built in my first book. I talk about built this big old 5,000 square foot house by myself because I could, and I could buy this and do that. And now I do what I do. And I tell my clients, I am living abundantly stress-free on a quarter of the income that I had in corporate America. And now I can start saying, I am the mother of a young Black man who was shot a gunshot survivor. I am living stress-free. I am going from imposter syndrome to confidence syndrome because you know what? I am that girl. And I got you all with confidence. The limiting beliefs came from, the people in my circle. Why did I feel like I couldn't go to HR and say, I wasn't comfortable to go to HR and say, hey, I need time off because my son was shot. And then fast forward when my father was really ill, we had a team member who fell ill at the same time. I had to go in to do her paperwork with HR to put her out on disability. And it was the same day I was going to go to the hospital to see my dad, who was going to get transferred to hospice. And because I had to go, because I was in leadership, I was management, I had to do all the paperwork with HR to invoke her disability. And my dad passed away. So I didn't get to go see him like I had planned. And then I'm leaving his funeral. I get a call, that team member passed away. Oh no. And so with that, I said, from this point forward, well, I'm no longer in that career, but I've merged that career, technology, leadership, strategy, building teams, organization development, change management, new technology, new systems. I've merged that into what I do today so that I can live abundantly stress-free. And on the way here, I was talking to my mom, she's 84. We were having a conversation. Somehow money came up. Where we get those limiting beliefs from. And something she said, I said to her, I said, you know what, Mom? I said, even though I'm at a quarter of that high rolling six figures, like almost upper six figures. I am okay because by the grace of God, I have freedom. I have freedom to be who God called me to be. And now, instead of feeling like an imposter, instead of having imposter syndrome, I embrace confidence syndrome. Everything I went through was for a reason. By the grace of God, my son is still alive. We have challenges people don't realize. Gunshot violence, when they do not survive, that's one thing. And when they do survive, that is another set of healing mental and emotional issues that you have to go through with the survivor. It's a whole different trajectory, but I thank God he's still alive. So that is my story. That is why I built stress management and bridged the gap of technology, and I built systems for busy professionals and entrepreneurs, and I teach them how to use systems, SOPs, and strategy so that they can take off and go and do what they need to do for their families while the system is still working on their behalf. And I wish I had this technology in 2013 when my son was shot. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that story, Marie. One of the things I love is finding out the originator stories, finding out the why. How did we get to where we are today? The stories that shape us. And that is a story. So up next to the open mic stage, we have Toppin.
Thank you. Isn't that interesting? Isn't it interesting how, as she announced me, I started to applaud along with you. Because I really do believe, thank you so much, Christina, I do believe in celebrating oneself. I really do. I was telling a story earlier, and I'm going to be like 2 minutes long because I do have a flight to catch. I was telling a story earlier on that many years ago I had a roommate, and she would find it so hilarious that when I sat to eat by myself, I would set the table in perfect alignment with the right crockery, a goblet for my juice, and flowers on the table, because I am about to die. Because I feel I'm that important. On the other hand, in other rooms from I was 16, they would tell me, oh, she's overconfident. There's nothing about being overconfident. You either are confident or not. But a very interesting story is that every one of the stories I heard today is my story. Every story I heard yesterday is my story. Married and divorced, single mother, have to navigate emotional, financial abuse from spouse. How I stood up to him and all of that kind of thing. I've always had an entrepreneurial mind. I walked away from jobs where the boss was trying to make advances toward me. And when he did not get through, you know, they did that little spiteful thing of this, that, and the other. But fast forward to today. I've been in the theater business, broadcasting business, radio business since I was 18. And one of the things that I found I never had was a fear of speaking. I was tempted to hide at 11 years old at an all-girls Catholic high school when I was in grade 7, and I stood to give a story. And I had, what was it called? You forgot a part of the story. What do teen girls do? They start to what? Laugh. They start to laugh at you. Funnily enough, someone was speaking earlier about intuition.
Funnily enough, within me, I was not afraid. I wasn't scared. I remember standing there putting my finger in my mouth trying to record. And of course, we have several different races at school. I was not maybe considered pretty as a 10, 11-year-old. I recall the story, finished the story, and my life moved on. Fast forward to about 1992. I've also had health challenges that I've had to overcome. I've had to overcome loud, very loud rumors about my mental health and wellness. I had to become new. Fast forward to about 1992, someone invited me to start giving talks and lessons on overcoming the fear of public speaking. And I didn't realize it was a serious problem for many people because I did not have that experience. I was out emceeing an event with a fellow radio colleague, and I said to him, we're going to ad-lib this section, even though we had scripts. He says, no, I can't do this. Well-known, very efficient guy. He says, don't you know, Jonathan, that public speaking is people's number one fear over death? I said, what? That make no sense to me. So I started to study what caused the fear. I started to study why people had that fear. And I thought about it logically. How do you end up being afraid? I had a client 2 years ago who I was a communications coach for. She was well-lettered, well-trained in IT at a male-centric organization. And every time she get up to speak, she was also an immigrant from an Asian country, from India. And when she got up to speak, they would heckle her, cheer her. She felt uncomfortable. When we had her very first session, she would not even turn on the light in the Zoom meeting. I was talking to a shadow. Visibility issues. After 6 weeks of working with her, she was the brightest star on that Zoom because I taught her how to speak to win. And I find that communications is one of the best way to become visible. But first you have to start that visibility journey within. And when I presented my workshop yesterday, we started to look internally for the answers to manage our visibility as speakers. And speakers, being a speaker doesn't only apply to appearing on stage at a conference, but it applies to speaking up in court. One of my former clients, she said she had a case in court for 7 years and the opponent would not show up for court, so the case dragged on. And Madam Judge, you can imagine that she was afraid to address the court because, like you said, we spoke at people, not to them. She completed the course and she said, my goodness, I never knew that this course would have given me confidence to finally say, after 7 years of going to court and the other side not turning up, Your Honor, with all due respect, I have paid lots of money over the 7 years to travel to come in to this courtroom to answer this writ. And the person is not here. With all due respect, Your Honor, this is a waste of the court's time. This is a waste of my resources. And it's a complete disrespect. The judge, in his or her right mind, dismissed the case immediately. Why? Because she spoke up. She spoke to win. And that is my quest and has been my quest for the last 12, 13, 14, 15 years to help women especially find their voice to speak up. I'm holding in my hand basically my workbook, Speak to Win, available on Amazon. and I'm always happy to lend my services to individuals, groups, organizations, to run courses and seminars and workshops as to how to speak to when. And I look back, it's a skill you will always use, and not because you're a speaker on stage, but you use it in life. Thank you so much, Christina. This has been a wonderful event. Thank you, my friends. And please do connect with me. I'm on all social media, Tommy Oliver is the name, LinkedIn, and yada, 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 yada. I have to learn to speak about myself a lot too. So thank you again, and have a good evening. Safe travels home.
Is there anyone else in the room who would like to take the opportunity for the open mic? All right, Renee, let's welcome Renee to the stage. This will be our last open mic, and then we're actually gonna have Jana do her workshops in here on the stage. Thank you, Renee.
Thanks, everybody. My name's Renee. A is for apple, B is for ball, C is for cheerleader, and I've done it all. I've listened, I've cared, I've dipped down and lifted, I've heard from a distance and seen the same vision. And today I want to bring another V to the stage, a V, and I want to call it the word validate. So is it okay that I share that we go way back, sitting in 2 chairs in the back of the dance studio long ago, dreaming of things we might become, Christina and I, after the day was done, after the work was over, after the dance steps with the Pilates, her, me. And we would dream, what's next? I would ask, what's next? And we would inspire ourselves or each other to dream the next thing. But today, as I'm here on the stage, I felt like the V meant the word validate. For every one of us, starting with Christina, has been validated today. And so today, whatever you've done, the place that you are, the race that you've run, the things that you've accomplished, the wishes that you have, the dreams that are so far away, you wonder if you can ever grasp. Know today that you've been seen, you've been heard, you've been listened to, you've been elevated. You are beyond your own skin, you are beyond your own things that you think you are. You are more than you could ever put in words. You are the most beautiful flower in the garden. You are the ripest tomato on the vine. You are the perfect representation of who you were made to be. And so today, let the letter V bring visibility, validation, and victory. Thank you.
We can see one of our inspirational friends to each other.
Yes.
All right, so we'll just take a 5-minute break, and then we will have Gina join us in this room for the workshop. If you want to chat, there'll be around the table sitting together after that. You can talk out loud now. Great.
No need to whisper. Okay.
Okay. $1 million? You get $1 million?
You're way enough.
All right. Yay.
Are you?
It's just, I'll get her cheese and then say, yes.
I have not found another Marty McNabb ever.
I'll look at work. And then, yeah, you were here for the meeting, I think this was like 2 days.
Yes. Put your value, yeah, put your information and put value.
I don't know.
Okay, here we go. I'll just get on the subway.
Like nothing funny, it wasn't just a, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just reading something and I was like, okay, so.
Wait. So I understand. It's on his stomach.
Yeah, but another one, but yeah. I know that. I get off this already for
Who can hear it?
okay, so it's all over. We have to zero this, like this. And, the growth, one of our members is, grants is really for and all of that. We have to work with it for and I start gathering and the meeting of exactly.
What happened?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's your story.
So.
Do you ever have, oh, yeah. I mean, this day. I used to work with people.
I know, and you're like, yeah. I thought it'd be good like you did like something like I don't think you're connected on
You're like magical, but like you have all the numbers. Yeah. And she'll make it for you. You get an assistant to fill out the I'm like a turd up there. Try her out. Someone should just pop over. Wow. It's not. Yeah, try facing it that way. Okay. Here's on great. I actually avoid it backwards. I don't know. It's working. I'll work with it. I think I'll be able to feel it. All right. Good. I think
Yeah, they do.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Great. Well, it's so nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Somebody, I used to go back, you know, I'm sorry.
Okay. Yes. And do they come to you at, like, in midlife generally,
Yeah,
or approaching retirement?
a lot.
Yeah.
According to the magic numbers or something.
Really? That's younger than I would expect.
Yeah, it was a lot there, and then this year, it's been more.
Jana, you wanna try that?
That's what I would expect, like people who really
Yeah.
wanted to retire, now retiring. Which I know is late to start planning.
I think that's why. Care of the-
All right, ladies.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
If I can do that with you.
Yeah, well, that's great. No,
Thank you.
My place should be up here on the stage. Woo. I just want to say one thing, and it's amazing that it must have maybe said that to me already on lights and trees and that, but you cannot hear me, I will talk closer to the microphone just for you. But one of the things I want to say is what I said to myself 3 weeks ago. It does not matter what the size of this conference was going to be. What mattered was the women in the room. And it has been some powerful women in this room. And you will all, just like me, were meant to be here. And now with that, I want to welcome the amazing Jana Swan to the stage.
So how many of you women in here want to be more visible? Just get a read on the group, just in case. Okay. And how many of you women have a hard time setting up the camera, hitting record, and speaking your heart? And how many of that's a goal? Yeah, just so you get a read? Yeah. Cool. That's what I'm gonna help you out with today. Right? So thank you for participating. I will ask your participation throughout because this is a workshop. This is not a me talking at you thing, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and have Ty. He's gonna start going around the room and give you a workbook. It's about 7 pages. We're not gonna get to all of it. Logistically speaking, there are over 25 questions in this. We won't get to all of these today. We'll get to as many as we can. And this is homework, and it's just to give you deeper insight as we go, okay? So what we're going to be talking about today is how to cultivate safety internally so that you can be seen online fully as you are, right? This isn't about putting on a mask and being fake. It's about showing up as you are, because the world needs you. We already have other people. Don't model someone else. We need you. So that's what this is for, okay? So I want you to just with me for a second. Take a nice deep breath. Feels good, doesn't it? Because guess what? Don't worry. You are already worthy of all of the visibility you desire. How does that feel? You might not have ever heard those words before, but you are worthy of all of the visibility that you desire. You simply have to decide that you are ready for that visibility. Okay? So today we're going to talk more about that because what used to be was you used to feel rejection, ridicule, responsibility. That's what visibility used to be. I know for me, I can remember it like rhinestones hot put on a costume. I was young and in a competition and about to do a solo, and I'm standing on stage, the lights come on, the music hits, and I freeze. And I take a deep breath. And I surrendered and I just moved my body. And that same freeze, I see it in women just like you every single day. When they go to hit record, or better yet, they record it, they edit it, they get it all ready, and I can't post it. How many people in here have had that moment? It's okay. We're safe in here. You're allowed to admit these things. Okay? That used to be me all the time, because what's happening is your body is flinching. It's going, remember that time Susan sent me that email? Remember that time someone told me, well, you shouldn't have used that word. Right? It's projections. And what that does is it gets into the neurology of your body. Your literal DNA takes that in and it goes, this is my story. That's the pattern. If you were here this morning for my workshop, that's the pattern we keep reliving. It's in your DNA. But the beautiful part is, if we can get to a point to where that pattern is in our DNA, what else can we do? You can re-encode your DNA. You can change. And I know you've heard that all day long. I'm going to say a lot of things that are just pulling together every amazing speaker before me, because the truth is there are patterns in these talks for a reason. Okay? So if you don't hear it from them, you're about to hear it from me, and you better hear it from me because it's the last one you get to hear it from, okay? But you guys are here for a reason. It's because our bodies are flinching, and yet you want more. So you're here. You're in this room right now, looking for more with those pens ready. And I'm so excited because we're going to dive into some fun stuff. Because anyone want to guess what that real block is? Like, what's the thing holding you from hitting that button? Any guesses?
Fear.
Your heart? Okay, you can yell them out at me.
Fear.
What else? Fear. Anything else?
Fear.
Fear. Fear. Okay. Sometimes it's anger that you didn't do it sooner. Sometimes it's guilt that you're talking about the topic you are. Sometimes it's shame because someone else gave that shame to you. Right? It can be different things all the time, but I'll tell you one thing, it is not your strategy that's holding you back. Because we can all sit there and take more and more strategy in day after day after day and go, but I know the 3 C's, I know the 5 M's, I know I'm doing all the things, right? The 24 P's, I don't know. Everybody's got a framework these days and it's beautiful. And strategy doesn't help when your DNA has a story that's old and outdated and not supporting you anymore. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So this is Echo and this is Lyra. You got introduced to them slightly this morning if you were in the workshop. Echo and Lyra are the male and the female brain. So you'll see Lyra a lot in this. She's the one with the beautiful blue eyes and those long, luscious lashes. She's not about any. But the beauty is that I'm going to talk a lot about your brain today, and I know that if I talk about you and your brain, you're going to go wall up. But if I talk about Lyra and her brain, you might associate a little better. So Lyra's going to help us out today. So one of the things we're going to do is a lot of journaling. You'll notice there are good questions on here. So one of the first questions we're going to answer, can you think of a time as a kid when you spoke up and it didn't go well? So that first question there, I'm going to give you just a few seconds. We're going to give you about 30 to 60 seconds. I'm going to engage you on the room. But just think about the very first time that you spoke up and it didn't go well. Still see some pens going. Feel free to continue. We're going to move on to the next question for those that are ready. What were you told was too much about you? Some giggles means that some people have heard this one before. What were you told was too much about you?
Page isn't long enough. There's a blank side. Okay. Okay.
remember, you can always come back to these in the future and add to them. I will tell you my great reframe on this last time or now when people say, oh, you're too much, I say, great, go find less.
Perfect.
I'm not gonna shrink to fit someone else's box. So if you wanna write that in there, just to like remind yourself later, literally go find less. There's so much less out there. Don't tell me to make less. Our next question. In your business or your content creation today, where does your body still brace when you go to share? Is it your throat? Is it your chest? Is it your gut? Is it your head, your brain? Where in your body do you physically feel it tighten up and you brace right before you hit post? I did say it's your DNA. It is literally your body communicating with you. And again, with all of these questions, the first thing that pops in your head, write it down. That is your subconscious mind. Taking any time at all to overthink it, now you're in your conscious mind. Just pop it in there. Is it your head? Is it your throat? Your chest? Your stomach? Maybe it's your sacral region? Okay. These are all important questions. So that's page 1. There's still more things in the bottom you can feel free to get to in the future. Page 2 is for you. So go ahead and flip to page 3 for me. And I'm going to keep on moving. So don't get ahead on reading the page though. Just flip to it for me. Yeah. So what looks like self-sabotage in life, I will tell you, you are not lazy. That's the one thing everybody, oh, I'm just lazy. I just won't get to it. No. Self-sabotage is self-protection. It is your literal nervous system going, I've seen this before and it hurt me then, I don't want to be hurt again. If I can just put it off long enough, nobody will notice I didn't post today. If I put it off long enough, they'll stop asking about that workshop. If I put it off long enough, they'll forget I said I wanted to write a book. I see so many faces, I'm hitting home. My intuition is on point today. All right. So it is literally just you protecting yourself. We recognize that, right? How, you guys with me? Do we agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you for your participation. Your body is speaking before you ever hit publish. It is literally wisdom. It is not resistance. We in this room are women. And we have an innate intuition. And we have such a connection to that intuition. If you just tap in and listen, your body is always giving you forgive my language, it's giving you a hell yes or a hell no. I tell people, if it's not a hell yes, to where you're like, I want to do this, it is a no. If you say, let me think about it, that is a literal no. You need to stop it right there, come back to it in the future, ask yourself again. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. That is one of the greatest things as a woman you can take into your future. Listen to your body. It is telling you to do something every single day, every moment of every day. You ever wanted to speak on stage about 10 minutes before, like, oh, I shouldn't have eaten that lunch. That fish must have been bad. It wasn't the fish. It's the fact that this means something to you. And your body's like, oh, I'm so excited. Unfortunately, we use words that are labels that are inappropriate. We say, oh, I'm anxious. I'm nervous. No, you are not. Anxiety and nervousness is the exact same physiological response in the body as excitement. I learned that one day because I, at the point, hated roller coasters. And someone was like, you're not fearful, you're excited. Everybody feels that pit of your stomach flipping before you get up there. And I was like, really? And I'm like, okay. Because it just reframed me, it gave me a new label. The words that we use every day are so important. You may have noticed, I might have stopped you guys a couple times. If you say try around me, I will not let you, because try equals fail. I'll tell you to say it again. If you say I want around me, I will stop you, because that disconnects you from the thing. I'm going to say, I know it's not here yet, but say I am. Don't say, I'm getting ready to launch a group. No, I have a community. The moment it comes in, it is yours, claim it. Words are so powerful, you guys. So what our body does to keep us safe, it does a couple things. The first one, flight. You can see on page 3 towards the bottom, you'll see some of these to fill in if you don't know these already. Fight. This is your rebellious nature. This is the, if I just fight them, then I will overcome them and I will win. The rebellious one is the, let me just call out those haters. Let me feed on the drama to be able to get attention. That's the rebellious one. That's the fighter one. And I'm not saying that content doesn't work, especially in this world. I'm saying it's not going to work for the heart-centered women sitting in this room, because it is just protection. And the moment you get to safety, you don't need to lean on that crutch anymore. So that is one way that it shows up for us. The second way is flight. I don't know why my image isn't showing up. She's cute too, because it's got a bunch of like sticky notes around, and she's got a little coffee and a little microphone. She's like freaked out. This okay. Scattered is how we show up. Super scatterbrained. And what that means is you sit here and you go, well, if I just do this idea and then that idea and then this idea, and you never have a straight mission, and nobody can come to your page and scroll and go, oh, they talk about this. Their content pillars are A, B, and C. If they can't determine that from your content, that's because you're scattered, because you're scared. But if you finally get that mission and that message, you won't have that problem anymore. So the scattered, the flight is, I run away, they can't catch me, right? Then the one after that is a freeze. Oh my gosh, she's frozen. She has ice cubes all over her right now. And the reason why is if I just stay still, nobody will notice me. And if I just don't post that video, nobody can tell me I'm ugly. Nobody can tell me I didn't say it right. Nobody can say, well, that lighting wasn't great. You should have done your makeup a little bit better. Maybe you shouldn't wear that color. All of these things, they're so tiny little things, but they are just other people's projections. But we do. We run away. We procrastinate. We freeze. This was a big one for me. I've been content creating for 15 years. Making a video is not hard. My friends are like, Jenny, I haven't seen you post in a while. I'm like, oops, I'm on my stories every day though. It happens to all of us. And the last one, not as many people in front. I'm gonna check my images next time. The one that not everyone is familiar with is fawn. Fawn. This is when you just numb out. And fawning is where you people please, you appease. You're like, well, if I just appease this person, I'll be safe. Maybe they won't hurt me. If I just bend to their whim, they won't hurt me. So go ahead and call out, which one of these do you think you deal with the most? Freeze.
Procrastination.
Yeah, I hear a lot of that one. Cool. So now you know. Now you're aware. You're welcome. Next time you procrastinate, you're gonna think of me. Hey. So unknowingly, you have literally built an invisible cage around yourself. It's okay, it's protection. Cages are protection. They can keep things out. But you know what else it does? It keeps you in. Yeah. It means you can't fly free. Guarantee freedom is something every single person in this room wants at least a taste of. Freedom in your calendar, freedom of your time, freedom financially. You all want that, but you can't have it if you're stuck in a cage that you put yourself in. So this invisible cage is something we have to be aware of. I'm bringing that awareness to you, and I'm not going to leave you in that cage. So this cage, it comes from three major things: shame, rejection, and people pleasing. We're either projected shame on us, or we interpret and give ourselves meaning to a story that we once had, and we take that shame on. Or we have rejection either from others, or sometimes worse, we reject ourselves. That one hurts the most. We have a really great idea. We have a TEDx that we really want to do, but we can't get ourselves to put that application in. We are rejecting ourselves before we even give them a chance. Then people pleasing. How many people are like me, people pleasing? I mean, you guys see me running around with this camera equipment. I am working on it, and it's really just because I absolutely love what's happening here. So it's not really. And this is something a lot of women fall into. We have been in a society that says you must please everybody, or else you are not a good mom, employee, business owner, just human. Because women are supposed to submit, right? Not when that person doesn't earn that. And people pleasing puts you in that cage. And your body remembers. I might ask you questions like, when's the first time you felt this or experienced that? You're gonna go, I don't know. Your body remembers. Because what's happening is that your emotional experiences, every experience is not emotional. Whatever experience we attach emotion to and attach meaning to becomes an emotional experience. And all of those become encoded in the cells of your body. Typically, those come in gut feelings. Even heart, gut is just your intuitive feelings, right? And they're all triggered by these memories that we have. So I ask you to think of something, then you feel something, and then your body goes, whoa. So those memories are the key, right? We can take those memories and we can shift them a little bit. We can reapply new meaning, or better yet, go back to that memory, learn the lesson, and take that forward with you. The only reason you're holding on to the anger, the shame, or the sadness and the fear is because you never learned the lesson. Once you take the lesson, you don't need the shame. You can leave it there. You can go, it's okay, I have the lesson now. It'll never happen again, because next time that person comes to me and says, you're too much, I say, okay, go find less. That was my lesson. The moment I picked that lesson up, I didn't need that anymore. So this is super important. It's happening every day. And I might be speaking to the choir here. I've heard a lot of you guys talking about this kind of stuff. And it's nice to just hear it again. So there is a part, I believe it's on page 3. Oh, hopefully I usually have these with me up here. No, it's not. Flip to page 4, because I can see it from here. There's a scale on there. Now, you have to flip it too fast for me to look at you. It should be on page 1, I see it. Okay, so I don't want you to do it now. All I want you to do is think like on a scale of from safety to survival, where do you think you are? Maybe put a heart or a star somewhere on that. You can label one side safety, one side, let's see, survival. And I don't even think of the word anymore because I'm not living it. So safety on one side, survival on the other. Where are you right now? And then when you're on your flight home or later on, yes.
What does survival look like?
Ooh, different for everyone, and that's part of what this activity is, so you can identify. For me, I will tell you, when I am in safety, you might see me crying online. That's me being really vulnerable. I'm telling a story and being like, oh, you guys just need to hear this thing happened, and so people think that that's me in survival. It's not, that's me in safety. Me in survival is you don't see me online at all. I withdraw, I go inward.
So how is the crying safety? Because my brain is thinking it's the opposite.
Yeah, I'm safe enough to shed tears on the internet.
So you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Because if I didn't feel safe, I wouldn't do it. I would be like, these tears are for my partner only, my coach only, my bestie only. But instead, I feel so safe, and I know each and every one of your little faces is that little number behind the screen for me that says, I'm sharing this because you are going to benefit. And I feel safe enough to open my heart to that. So for me, and it looks different for everyone. So on yours, you might say, survival is me crying every day, and safety is me jumping with joy and making content with ease. I love this activity because as you sit down, you're going to find little things as you go. And then there's stuff in between too. So it's just taking that time to sit down and just really reflect. It's more of reflecting backwards that's going to help you on that, okay?
So safety is like comfort with vulnerability, and survival is need for back.
For me it is. For others it might be different, and that is an example of it, yes. Yes. So I'll tell you a little tidbit about me. I don't want to spend so much time on me. This is really about you guys today. And so part of what gives me the qualification to be talking about this is because I've been creating content online for 15 years. I've been loving it. I am first and foremost a content creator, then I am a speaker, and then I am a facilitator and a coach and all the other millions of things I do and the running cameras and all that stuff, okay? But what happened was in 2021, I started going viral online. Instagram, 20 million people. Now, TikTok numbers, that doesn't sound like much. Instagram, that's a big deal, especially in 2021. I was going viral online sharing intimacy, not my intimacy, but I was teaching other people how to communicate consent, how to properly date women with respect, about women's bodies. Because if you're driving a Ferrari, you should know what's under the hood, right? And so many people don't. They just go into first gear and that's it. I'm like, girlfriend, we have so many options here. What are you doing? And so I'm teaching this and I'm so proud and I'm like, oh, it's amazing, it's helping people. I will tell you, and I don't tell many people this, I saved 13 men's lives because I've talked about ED publicly and so that ED is the first sign of a heart attack. Because if that artery is clogged, everything else is getting clogged. And all of those men went and saw someone got tested and they said, I was on death's doorstep, high triglyceride, high cholesterol, high. I'm seeing someone for nutrition now, I'm doing these things. And that's only the 13 that had the courage to tell me about it. I had 11,000 highly engaged followers, people who were messaging me, and I was literally nonstop sending voice notes all the time because my little fingers couldn't keep up. But I loved it. And I was a woman online talking about sex. So what does that mean? Oh, she must be a porn star. She must be an OnlyFans mom. She must be available and looking. None of which was true. Very, very happy in my relationship of over 10 years. And the men didn't know how to take rejection. And so that rejection led to what I've coined social media PTSD. PTSD stands for perversion, trolls, slander, and death threats. Yes, death threats. Dozens and dozens and dozens of death threats coming into my inbox every day because I was educating people on women's bodies. Yes. It was a really hard time. It was so hard that I deleted everything. 13 years of content creation every single day. Gone. 3 podcasts, gone. Videos that I'd worked so hard on, gone. Because I let people silence me. Because I let my fear take over. And that's why I do this. Because I don't want that to happen to you. If you start getting that, please come to me because I want to help you. Because that's not okay. I only have a little bits and pieces of it still left in like storage files, but it was hard. I know I was changing lives. I also saved 6 marriages. I have people who were going to break up and then got back together, they're not married, they're not having their first kid. Walked 4 other families through having kids. Helped so many people. And I gave it all up.
So what would be one piece of advice that you would give to someone who's going through that?
Yeah.
What would be one thing?
I would love to give this advice. So what I learned is that I would get people coming in my comments and they would say really, really mean things. And normally you want to be like bite back. You want to fight fire with fire. But when you do that, everyone gets burned. So what I learned is that when you fight fire with love, it puts the fire out. And almost always, that person would come back 24 hours later and say, I'm so sorry. I had a really terrible day at work and I happened to see you first online. So I took it out on you. So I was actually able to take them from someone who's trolling me, slandering me, and hating on me, and turn those people into super fans who then fought for me in my comments.
What about the idea, I get bizarro stuff on TikTok and Instagram.
You're beautiful woman, I believe.
Bizarro stuff. Men who, I'm like, what the truck? And I just ignore and block. How is that? Cause I don't have time, nor an inclination, nor do I give a F to try to win them over. I just want them to disappear.
Yeah. So there's a couple things there. And I don't want to get too far off track because I want to keep things timely and I want to get you guys out properly. And that's a perfect solution for you if that works.
Okay.
Just keep doing that.
Okay.
My mission was to actually help them.
Yeah.
So me just blocking them and silencing them was not helping them. Seeing that hurt people and healed people is my responsibility. And so I took that as something to lean into and say, I'm so sorry that life is so hard for you right now, that you're taking my educational video and looking at that as a threat. And then I would end up flipping them, talking to them, helping them out. It was part of what I did. So that was my mission, my ethos. Might not be for you, just keep blocking them.
I just care about the women that I'm serving. I
Perfect.
don't care about that.
Keep your focus on those women and keep doing that.
Okay. I went through a similar experience and what I realized for myself was you're not gonna be for everybody. Is you have your audience and then you have the extras that they're just there to create chaos. So you have to focus on those who are there for you.
Yes, that. So The old way. I had a doctor, I don't know if, not everyone heard this, okay, cool. At 19 years old, I started developing cysts the size of golf balls on my labia. I had 7 surgeries across 10 years, from 19 to 29 years old, on my vulva. It is the most excruciating pain, and I would not wish it on my worst enemy. And my doctor said second doctor, first botched me and he's an asshole. Second doctor said, if you don't get to the root of the problems, the symptoms will persist. So, everything in me was, let's find the root of the pain. Let's find the root of the pain. What does that do? It puts all of my focus on pain, problems. So the old way for many years, it did help because I found the pain, solved the pain, found the pain, solved the pain, but it kept happening, the pain. I was like, how do I change this? So now what I do is I find the source of my safety. And now all I see is safety everywhere around me. Because what I learned was step 1 was I'm safe because I can kick up. I can fight. I'm safe outside of myself. Level 2, I'm safe in my mind. You lock me up in a cage, it wouldn't matter. I'm safe in my mind. Level 3, I am safe. I literally vibrate my cells at the frequency of safety, and all I do is attract women like you who are safe. I see things that continue to remind me that I am safe. It's a super powerful thing to do because safety is not found in shrinking. Again, I do not want you to ever shrink your voice. It is not. It is cultivated through those small little moments of brave embodiment. Those little baby moments. That's where safety comes from. You don't have to jump fully into the safety pool all up front. Just do one little thing that makes you feel safer, and then one more thing, and then one more thing. Right? You're not too sensitive. I know you hear this one a lot. You are not too emotional. That is a superpower. You are not too soft. You are exactly what this world needs right now. Woo! I need you guys to hear. You are not too sensitive. You are not too emotional. You are not too soft. You are exactly what this world needs. So continue to lean into that. And it is a hard job. We're given a tall order right now. And I believe in us as a collective. We need a collective energy. And that's what rooms like this, no matter how big or how small, if it's 2 or more, it is a collective. Allow that energy to be there. This was specific to podcasters, and you can use this. This is a pre-recording checklist. This is one of the things I learned my nervous system needed for me to feel safe. And this pre-recording checklist, if you scan the QR code, you can get a website that will actually let you check all the little boxes, and then it'll take you to the post one, and you can use it every time. Pre and post routines. These are what I use. You can create your own. I believe it's page 4 or 5 that will give you an option to create your own as well. But here it is 1, know who you're speaking to, one person. And if they're a physical person in your world, print out their picture, put it in a frame, and stick it behind your phone. So you can look to and talk to her or him the entire time. Speak to one person and know exactly who you're talking to. Then determine this post is true for me. That's super powerful. And the moment you decide that, then say, I am not chasing validation. And if you cannot say that with confidence, you need not post that thing. Because validation is not going to give you what you're looking for. Then you continue on. I have checked in with my nervous system. She feels good. And then I have let go of the outcome. This is huge for social media. I'll tell you, the videos that I spend 10 seconds creating and 5 seconds posting are always the ones that went viral. Not that that's the goal. And people like authenticity. They don't like over-edited stuff. But the ones that I would spend like 15 hours editing all the clips because it was a transition, I was in like 56 different outfits, nothing. And it's all because I had an anticipation, they're gonna love this. So I thought this one's gonna be it. It's gonna hit millions. It did not. But the one that I posted, I was like, oh, this is hilarious. My friends will love this. That one got 6 million views. Of course, it's not the one I get to go viral at all. And that's always what happens, right? Because I had an attachment to the outcome. So this is super, super important. Then your post recording list is super easy. You can sum it up with N. This is not written on there, so I would write this down on your notes somewhere. E-N-D. E stands for empower. We'll get to what these mean specifically in just a second. Empower, notice, and then delete. Empower yourself. Celebrate actually doing recording. Like you post it, you're like, yeah, I did it, woohoo, we just got it up there. Like literally celebrate. Stand up and jump up and down. Your body likes that. Plus the universe is like, oh girl, we need more of that. You liked it. So celebrate yourself. The next one is note what you can learn from this. Be like, oh, okay, I'm not super happy with how the lighting was, so maybe next time I'm gonna move it just a little bit to the side and try this 45-degree angle thing to see if that helps. Just note little things you learn along the way. Or, I had a lot of ums and ahs during that. Maybe I can slow my speech down a little bit so my brain can catch up. Right? So empower yourself. Second, notice others' response. First, I'm open to receiving. Be open to receiving feedback. They're gonna give it to you anyways. You might as well give it. Right? So it really just set the intention to listen to it and just keep it if it's for you and delete it if it's not. Totally cool to say, oh, thank you so much, delete. I in my head say delete a lot. I say delete, no thank you, delete, no thank you, especially if someone's speaking limiting beliefs towards me. Oh, I don't want that. So that's another tip, internally, just to remind yourself that's not for me. The last one is just, I noticed patterns in my audience engagement. Did they comment? Did they like this? Did they share it? Did they email me or did they DM me? That means it's a topic they really like, right? These are things we want to notice. And the last one is really delete what doesn't serve you. Release the perfectionism and the comparison because again, there is nobody on this planet that is you. So it doesn't matter what someone else did. You are unique to your own. So allow that to be. And the last one is to let go of other people's opinions shared in the comments or the DMs. Just be grateful they engaged. Because comments are the number one and shares are the number one ways to actually get that post out there. Would recommend always reply with 5 words or more. Thank you for your comment. It's great. Thank you for engaging with my post, even though you hated it. Next time, scroll and move on. I don't know, but like it has to be 5 because the system only recognizes 3 or less as like not a real comment because it's a bot, right? So 5 or more is your little tip. But super, super important to just detach yourself from that validation, that criticism, because none of it means anything about you. Everything positive and negative that is told to you is a projection. It is someone else's reality put on you. So even the compliments I receive, I still have to delete. Because you're seeing me. Thank you for all of the compliments. You are literally seeing yourself in me. So you're complimenting yourself. So I have to we want to stay neutral. Otherwise, you just get a really big head. We don't want that. I like hats. My hat's a head. You don't have to earn your exhale, ladies. You really don't. You are safe to soften. And it starts from the inside. There's your iced coffee. So that was a cute iced coffee from earlier with the scattered brain, but it's all good. So I want to give you some quick tools. I don't have too much time. I want to keep us on track, and we don't have much time left. So these tools I'm going to run through real fast, and if you need more explanation, just reach out. I'm happy to teach you more. The first tool that we have is called pendulation. What this is to swing. To swing from a safe memory, maybe cuddling on the couch with your kiddos and your puppies, to that unsafe memory. That time you posted that thing and someone emailed you that really mean thing. And then you swing right back to safety. Go, okay, I feel safe again. And then let me tap back into that. That was rough. And the more you do this swing, the more the spicy one isn't so spicy anymore. And anytime it gets a little too spicy, just go back to safety. This swinging motion is something you can do in your mind with a memory. The next one is titration. Tight, like to stretch. What that is to chunk it little by little, right? So maybe you have a memory. Maybe it's a traumatic memory. For me, getting death threats was a bit traumatic. And I wanted to let that go. And so I couldn't just dive right back into the things they were saying. I had to ease my way in. So little by little, I allow myself to feel it a little bit and then come back to safety. It's like, okay, I'm good. Then a little bit more, and then back to safety. And then I went a little further and I sat for a little bit longer. I was like, okay, I'm at my range. Okay. And then you go a little bit more and you go, okay, so uncomfortable, but I can do this. And now you're in that thing that was once so triggering you couldn't even think of it. But now you're in it because you eased your way in, right? You don't just toss the baby in the pool. That's not how it works, right? We put the floaties on first, we get them into lessons, you ease them in. I mean, some parents might, I'm not a parent, so I don't know what today's tips and techniques are, but these are great. But the last thing is just know that you're posting your content. It is a sacred practice, especially as heart-centered women. It's super important to ground yourself. I know that some people are super observant. You might have noticed me staring at the wall before this. I was grounding myself. There's a lot of energy. Grounding myself. I was connecting to what I wanted you to get out of this. Connecting to my intention. Because this is not about me. It's about you. That's another reason why I get a lot of compliments on my speaking, because my spotlight is not on me. I don't care what you think about me right now. I love all of you, and I really don't give a flip. Because my attention is on all of you. I push my spotlight outwards. How can I help you right now? Give you what you need. And then I release whatever's coming up for me, because maybe it's, I've only done this talk once before. I have that brain too. And I learned how to release that. Go, it doesn't matter what this is, because what's meant for me will be. It will be exactly what you guys need. And the last thing is to regulate myself. Usually it's some breathing, nice breathing. And so this is something I encourage you to do before you post anything. It's just to make sure that you ground yourself, you connect, you truly release anything that's holding you back, and you regulate yourself. Really, really empowering. So take it. Take that as an integration, as an action plan. Breathe, notice, decide, and then take action. Hit post. Because people need to hear your voice. People need to hear what you have to share. People need you. That's why we're here. Not so that we can teach you how to be you, but so that we can give you permission to be you. It's super empowering. Now, I know we didn't get to a lot of these questions. I wanted to be respectful of time. You guys have all of these questions there, and if this was impactful to you and you want to make it a whole 90-day thing, please take a picture of this. It's for free. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay for it. But it is journal prompts. It is meditations. It is everything for 90 days to help you integrate this into your life so that you can be fully visible as you are. It's extremely powerful stuff. I have all sorts of tools and techniques. The questions you got this morning on body image, that all came from a PDF I made for a friend's mother. And I put all of these things, everything I create for my clients, into my community, and I allow people to just get access to that. You just pay once a month and you get access to everything I've ever created, which is a lot. Good luck getting through it all. That's why I'm not worried about anyone getting in and downloading it all and then getting out the next month, because it's going to take you like 6 months to download it all. And it's really empowering stuff, right? Okay. So I also have an app that's completely free. If you like meditations, you like sleep meditations, you like my voice. If you don't like my voice, don't use the app. It's all my voice. And there's so many things. I love to journal. That's where a lot of my stuff comes to me. None of the frameworks come from ChatGPT. They're all me. It all comes through meditation, through processing, through journaling. And so there's endless amounts. There's probably 60, 70 journal prompts in there. And all of them are digital journal prompts that once you're done filling it out, then it will email it back to you so you can keep a digital journal. Or if you're a paper person, just write it down on your paper and just do it in your journal. But it's for you. Happy to provide that for you. And I'm really glad you guys were here. Thank you for coming on flights, on trains, in cars, for driving the extra 50, 40 minutes, whichever direction. Thank you for being here for you. Thank you for doing what you're doing for the world. Thank you for sharing your voices, your stories, your love, your hugs. I won't take so many of those tonight, so please give them all to me. Thank you for respecting this woman who's put so much into this for us. Thank you for being you. And go be more of that, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Well,
also grateful, Christina, we're also grateful that you ever ditched you, and that we ended up with her.
It is meant to be the women who are meant to be in the room.
No, seriously, seriously, we wouldn't have gotten her if you hadn't been ditched.
Isn't she amazing?
So I want to send that person like a thank you card. Thank you for not showing up. Take care. And see.
I don't even have words.
I
I do, but I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Oh, you do?
So, in conclusion, let's all just take a deep breath in and out. And another deep breath in and out. And I want everybody to say it with me. I am confident.
I am confident.
I am loved.
I am loved.
And I am visible.
And I am visible.
Now stand up on your feet. Do it again. I am confident.
I am confident.
I am loved.
I am loved.
And I am visible.
And I am visible.
And one more time, a little louder. I am confident.
I am confident.
I am loved.
I am loved.
And I am visible.
And I am visible.
Thank you for the kind of first annual Women Getting Visible conference.
So then.
Something
down Canada. Yes, but that's next time.
Where are you getting them?